So, we're supposed to talk about Endgame, how we felt about it. I could probably go hours upon hours on how I felt about this movie, but I know I don't have that much time. I only got a few minutes, so I keep it short and sweet to the best of my ability. But Endgame, I could not believe what I was seeing on the screen for those 3 hours. This was something that I subconsciously wanted since I first saw the first Iron Man movie. Didn't know what was going to happen those next 11 years, but I knew it would be something big. We were in for something that was a big event with that first movie. And yes, superhero movies have come out way before that with X-Men and Spider-Man, but this opened the door to something new, something we haven't seen with crossovers of all these characters and eventually coming up to Endgame. And it's just, I see a promising future with this franchise. Not only that, but this is a franchise that I think that comes along every once in a while in a generation that is an event. Like with the 70s, it was Star Wars, and then we saw it again in the prequels in the 90s, and then once again, here we are again with Star Wars. These are special moments in history of cinema. The Matrix was like that too in 99, and here we are in the age of superheroes, and the MCU symbolizes the majority of these superhero movies. I cannot just tell you what I was feeling in this movie watching it for those 3 hours. I thought to myself that this cannot be happening. Everything I'm watching happened almost the way I would want it to. And that's what seems to me that the crew and the makers of these films in the MCU, it's a fan service. They're doing it for the fans. That's why it's so successful. And with Endgame, like with the 3 acts that it plays out in, you have the first act, it's very sad and depressing, something you don't really see in a superhero movie. And it's almost Oscar-worthy, Best Picture quality in a way for what it's presenting in the storyline. It's just amazing. And then you have the second act is more of a retrospective, looking back on the 11 years, and it makes it feel even more special, not just the movie, but the franchise as a whole. And then you have that epic battle in the third act that is my favorite part, and probably a lot of other people's favorite part too. I love everything from the moment Doctor Strange opens up those portals and all of a sudden you see every single character that have been present for the most part in the entire MCU, and everything from the Captain America picking up Thor's hammer to the point of Tony sacrificing his life with the gauntlet, and then you see all the women in that one scene all coming together. This was just unbelievable what I was seeing, and this is a movie that I could have sat through another hour. I wouldn't have cared if it was 4 hours. 3 hours alone was just so investing to me, and I see a promising future when it comes to the MCU after this movie. Some people think it may have been fatigue, but I think that they have a lot more planned. They got 10 years planned of the next few movies at least. We got sequels to Doctor Strange and Black Panther. We have new movies like Shang-Chi and The Eternals. The possibilities are endless, especially now that Disney owns X-Men and Fantastic Four. They have a whole bunch of characters now to introduce. They have nearly the entire Marvel library at their use, and I'm not afraid for them to take risks. We've seen Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man, like unpopular characters or people that they didn't know these characters, and look how well known they are, look how loved they are. So as far as the future goes for the MCU, I can see them doing a lot with the multiverse, because with Spider-Man Homecoming, as we all know already from seeing that first trailer, or the second trailer I should say, you see a lot of the multiverse being introduced, and we had a little bit of a glimpse of it in Doctor Strange. But this is something that I think is going to open the door to the next saga, because obviously now the Infinity Saga is over. Whatever this saga may be, I'm not really sure, but I'm thinking we're going to get a glimpse into other worlds, since now we know Mysterio's from another Earth, and this might explain why the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, all these other characters we haven't seen yet, where have they all been this whole time? And I think that's a nice, cool, comic booky kind of way to tell the story, and it makes sense because the multiverse is other dimensions, is other worlds, and that is so cool, because that once again shows that the next few years we can have such new ideas to create these new movies. So I'm not tired of this franchise. If anything, I want more. I'm kind of happy that they do 3 movies a year. Some people might get tired of it, but it gets me more pumped up. Spider-Man, to be honest, I wasn't as excited because I was excited for Endgame, but now I'm pumped for Spider-Man because it's really starting an entirely new saga. But I mean, it's almost, I can't find the words sometimes to feel what I feel, especially when watching Endgame. And I don't know if we'll ever get a movie that's gonna surpass that one. It's possible, but I think it might be a few years until that happens. Not I'm talking about grossing wise, I'm talking about story wise, I'm talking about spectacle wise, event wise. I mean, will that happen? It's possible. We can't tell the future, but as of now, it's so hard to see that, because for people that really loved Endgame like I did, I mean, I don't know how you can top a movie like that, especially the last hour of it. It's everything any Marvel or comic book fan could ever dream of seeing on the screen. It was a special time. I do hope we get more movies like it. I'm looking forward to the next few years of the MCU, and I'm just glad to share this with you guys. And I'm glad that there's other people that we can share this with and just share our love for this MCU world and all have something in common. But those are my thoughts. I'm excited for Spider-Man, and we'll just, like I said, see where the MCU goes from there.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in here today at Nerdy Blurb TV and checking out this video. Consider subscribing if you're into this kind of stuff, because we like to keep it nerdy here and interact with cool individuals such as yourself. Have a great day.